In 1969, humans put their first step on the moon. But now, NASA's trying to do it again. This time with more people, more advanced programs, and most importantly, a permanent stay on the moon. And they will be getting there by using the two most powerful rockets ever built. But they will also be incorporating private rocket companies. But after massive financial problems and the public losing interest, many people are actually wondering whether this is a good idea. During the First World War, NACA, or NACA, has been working on improving aviation. But then when the space race broke out in the Cold War, NACA was renamed to a space administration called NASA. And with the moon being a new target for the space race, the US government invested 20% of their budget into it. And then, in the summer of 1969, Neil Armstrong and Buzz Aldrin finally landed on the moon. But after that, the public soon lost interest in space exploration, whilst NASA still continued building space stations, sending up satellites, and so on. Until, just over a decade ago, President Bush announced a program to send humans back to the moon. And what they were working on was this, a 2,500-ton monster dubbed the SLS. Originally meant to launch in 2020, it was pushed back to 2022 because of numerous delays. One of the delays included a tornado ripping right through their rocket factory, destroying a fuel tank section, so they had to build it all over again. But on the 20th of June 2022, they were ready to do their wet dress rehearsal. A wet dress rehearsal is when the rocket is filled with propellant. Although the rocket did not launch, they still needed to fill it up with fuel to test the cryogenic temperatures on the fuel tanks or to see if there's a leak. And there actually was a leak. In the orange fuel tank section, hydrogen started leaking out of one of the pipes. After minor repairs in the rocket factory, NASA tried launching the enormous vehicle for the first time on the 20th of August 2022. Although a minor hydrogen leak in one of the SLS's engines caused the launch to be delayed. And after another failed launch attempt for the same reason on the 2nd of September, NASA is still attempting to launch this enormous rocket into space. Even if SLS is successful, it won't have any of the necessary technologies to land on the moon. In fact, they would require another enormous rocket to act as a lander on the moon. Commonly known as the Starship Launch System, or SLS. Hold on, that's the name of the other rocket. It would have the ludicrous payload capacity of 150 tons into low Earth orbit, or 100 tons to the moon. And on missions to other planets, it could even carry 100 people at once. The lunar lander will have exactly 1 kilometer of pressurized volume, and it would be able to be used for multiple missions. Unlike the renderings that you can see now, NASA and SpaceX have designed a specialized version made just for lunar missions and is not designed to return to Earth. And instead of 100 passengers, like originally intended, it would only carry 4, since that's the only amount that the SLS can carry. The plan is for the spacecraft that the SLS launches, known as Orion, will dock with the lunar lander, known as HLS, which is the modified version of Starship. Then the 4 crew members would transfer from Orion into the Starship, where the Starship would undock and then land on the lunar surface, where the Orion capsule would orbit autonomously. But is this plan really a good idea? After all, NASA was created back in the Cold War, when the space race was one of the most important political gambles. Also, let's just look at common sense. The SLS can only launch once a year, and its launch cost is $6 billion, although Starship has a launch cost of $3 million and can launch, at least in the future, 3 times a day. Seriously, why does SLS still exist if Starship is so much more reliable? Let me know what you think in the comments below. Thank you for watching this video. Please remember to like and share this video with a friend and subscribe to my channel. This has been Head for Science, and I'll see you in the next video.